Wanting is what is keeping you from having. And hoping isn't the fix either to get what you desire. There's only one thing that actually moves reality, and it is certainty. In this video, I'm going to show you the difference between wanting, hoping, and deciding. Why importance is the trap that's been sabotaging you this whole time, and how certainty is built and not found. Let's get into it. Let's start talking about wanting. Even if it seems normal to want something, there is a problem with it. The problem is that in the second you want something, you are confirming to the universe that you do not have it. You cannot want something that you already have. Nobody wants oxygen, right? But you're already breathing it now, for free. And you're not wanting it at all. And this applies to everything you'll ever obtain in life. So the moment you catch yourself wanting something bad enough, you already told yourself the truth. I don't have it. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere inside of you, you already know this. I'm not trying to be poetic, alright? This is just what it is. You are vibrating the frequency of lack. You want a relationship and you are broadcasting, I don't have one. You want more money and you are broadcasting to the universe, I'm broke. Every time. Now maybe you catch that. So you stop wanting so hard and you switch to hoping instead. And you say things like, I hope this works out. I hope this channel takes off. I hope the love of my life calls me back. But nothing happens. And there are two reasons for that. The first is that hoping still means not knowing. Try to see this out loud. I hope it works out. Now let's analyze that. What that actually means. There is no action in that sentence. You're just saying, I have no idea if this is going to happen, and the doubt is still there. Do not get me wrong, hope is a beautiful emotion and is unique for human beings, but that's not the mechanism that is gonna get you what you want. It's like doubt, it's just like doubt dressed in a suit, alright? The second problem with hoping is even worse than the first, because hoping keeps you sitting down. Let's put it this way. If you hope for something, what are you actually doing about it? Nothing. You just wait, right? You hope to be rich, so you buy a lottery ticket. That's the whole action. You work 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday, and the second day Saturday hits, you are on the couch, growing mold on you, watching TV and eating snacks. That's what hoping produces. Nothing. Deciding, though, produces the opposite. There is no version of deciding that leaves you on the couch. So here's the actual difference. Not wanting, not hoping, but deciding and being certain about it. Let me give you an example. So you say that you want $1 million. You hope to be a millionaire. That's cool. Everyone does it, right? The sentence means just nothing. Now try to say instead, I have decided that I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family and I will do whatever it takes to reach my objective. Even if they look similar sentences, they are not similar at all, because they produce completely different events inside of you. Because in the moment you decide, your nervous system starts organizing itself around that decision. Your thoughts change, your emotions change, the way you start spending a random Tuesday night will change. You will start acting and thinking like a millionaire, like that person that you want to become. And you're not forcing it, you're not doing anything insane to do it. You have simply decided, and everything will start following your command. It's like a chain reaction. Now, I'm pretty sure that some of you are resisting what I'm saying because you start thinking things like, I already decided that this is mine and it's clearly not mine yet. This sounds delusional. That's fine, but let me ask you something. Delusional compared to what? Compared to who? Compared to the version of you that wanted the exact same things for a year and got nothing? Because at some point, being realistic just means agreeing with results that are already working for you. And if the way that you have been thinking and the actions that you have been taking had actually worked by now, you would have not been watching this video. You would not watch this video right now. You would have been someone else, living your dream life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not insulting you. I'm just telling you that you being here is the proof that some part of you hasn't decided yet. There is another interesting thing about deciding, and it comes from its etymology. I'm Italian, so I love this kind of stuff. So the word decide comes from Latin, decidere. In Italian, decidere, meaning to cut away everything else. So when you actually decide something, the doubt is supposed to disappear. You just cut it off. Will it come back? Yes, it will. It will. People around you will just call it unrealistic. The voice in your head will say, this is not gonna work. But the second that happens, you go back to one sentence that ends that conversation. I have decided. That's it. Nobody can argue with that. I've decided that I'm going to get whatever I want, and I'm 100% sure it's going to happen. And I'm not saying all this just to sound good on camera or whatever. I've spent 16 years studying all this stuff, both from the spiritual side and from the quantum physics side, because at some point I needed some, let's call them other proofs, to help me understand all these mechanisms. So quantum physics have come in handy. So here's the proof. 1801, a scientist named Thomas Young ran an experiment. He fired some particles through two slits in a wall. Unobserved, the particles behaved like waves. They were just like spread out, meaning that every possibility was still available. But the moment the wave observed, measured, and watched, they collapse into one specific particle in one specific place. And it's not the only one. 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics, Aspect, Closer, and Zeilinger, they proved something called the entanglement. So when two particles are connected, they touch each other, it doesn't matter how far apart they are anymore. If you touch one after they're separated, the other one reacts instantly. They're entangled forever. So what does all this mean for you directly? It means that the moment you decide and you start acting on that decision, you become the observer, collapsing the wave. You connect yourself to the quantum field of every existing possibility, every line of reality that is already there, waiting for you, and you entangle yourself to it. So out of every possibility still open in the field, the one you decided on is the one that shows up in your life, and it will. Now, getting to that certainty, actually holding it is the hard part, because there's one more thing that keeps working against you, and that thing is importance. Here's what I mean by that. Let me give you an example. So, let's say that you have met someone, okay? During the first day, everything is going great, you are saying what you think, you are a funny guy, you are pleasant because you are relaxed, and none of this matters life or death to you. And that person is drawn to that, because that's what certainty looks from the outside, right? Now, a few months have passed and you decided that she's the one. And the second you decided that, something shifts, but not in a good direction. You start checking when she texts back. Now maybe a delayed reply ruins your whole day. You start being paranoid over nothing. But what changed? She didn't change, you did. The relationship became too important. Importance comes from the Latin word importare, meaning to carry weight, and that's exactly what it has become, a weight. Something you're not carrying everywhere and all the time, so it's not love. That's fear, and that's insecurity. And that fear doesn't stay quiet inside of you. It splits into two things, and both of them works against you. Inside of you, it becomes doubt. Does she still love me? Am I enough? Does she actually likes me? Or whatever. Outside, it becomes behavior. You get needier. You need reassurance. You start acting cringy, doing things. You start trying to get accepted by a person that never asked you that. So the result of it is the end of that relationship. So you didn't lose her because you weren't good enough. You lost her because you made her important enough to be afraid of losing. And that fear built exactly the behavior that lost her. That is not bad luck. That's just the principle of cause and effect in action. Meaning that the cause has been your spike of importance that you have given to the situation, and the effect is you losing what could have been the love of your life. I've actually made a whole video about this principle, and if you want, you can check it after this one. But anyways, this isn't just about your relationship, because the same thing happens with money, with your job, because In the moment that you make an outcome too important, you stop performing from certainty and you start performing from fear. And fear always leaks out, guys. In an interview, in a negotiation, in a sales call, people just feel it. Even if you try to hide it, people feel that there is something off. And the negotiation, the interview, the whatever just doesn't go well. Now, a lot of you learned this trap early and you didn't even notice it happening. Maybe you grew up hearing things like money is the root of all evil, that rich people are greedy, that wanting more than what you have is selfish or whatever. So without even deciding it consciously, you attached importance to not wanting money too much because wanting felt dangerous, like it was something bad for you. And that belief followed you into your adulthood. That's the reason some of you sabotage yourselves the second things start going well. Like those moments where everything is working fine and some part of you goes like, what is going on here? Why is this going so well? Something is off here, right? Usually had one of those moments. This is nothing more than the principle of correspondence at work. As within, so without. Your inner world isn't separate from your outer result, meaning that whatever is running underneath, meaning the importance and not belief, the fear, it doesn't stay hidden inside of you. It shows up outside of you in your behavior, in the result, in the exact pattern that keeps repeating in your life. So the real work was never removing doubt. The real work was removing importance, because the moment something stopped being like life or death to you, the doubt loses its grip. And that's when you actually focus on what matters, meaning creating the reality that you actually desire, in the same way you are already creating the one that you are living right now. Here's something more that you need to understand about certainty, because most people get this completely wrong. They think certainty means doubt never showing up, but it's not that. Doubt is going to show up every time. You cannot stop doubt. Like, certainty is not the absence of doubt. Certainty is what you do the second after the doubt shows up. That's the whole thing. Doubt shows up in that moment and you can decide what to do with it. And you have two options. Option A, you listen to it and you're just stopping moving toward the direction that you are moving. Or option B, you do not listen and you keep going toward the direction that you are entangled to. But it's not over yet, because there is one more piece to the puzzle of success. This three-dimensional realm doesn't move first. You move first, and reality catches up with you. Outside always moves later. So generally, in the moment that the gap between the decision and the materialization shows up, people quit. It's the moment you start saying things like, this is not working, this stuff doesn't work for me. But that gap isn't the proof of anything. It's just a delay between you deciding and the world rearranging itself around you. Do you remember? The wave that becomes the particle, you being entangled with that reality. Think about it for a second. In this moment, it has been years that you had certain thoughts, certain feelings, certain emotions, certain patterns. That doesn't just disappear itself at the snap of a finger. I mean, in certain cases it does, but generally it doesn't. It's just gonna take some time and it's gonna take some effort. And when you hit that gap, you cannot quit. Because if you quit, that's the proof you were never actually certain in the first place. You were just hoping or wanting. But when you decide, you will start shifting towards your ideal reality and you will not even notice that it's happening. I give you a personal example of this shift that is happening to me. So a couple of weeks ago, after a long week, I thought to myself, well, let's have a nice little drink. You know, I'm Italian, an aperitivo, a classic one, right? So I went to this bar next to my place. I went to the bar and I ordered the drink. I talked to the owner, I had a great time. But after the drink was done, I already started feeling a bit dizzy. And I was like, oh shit, what is going on here? Better to stop. I don't like this sensation. The older me would have had probably 15 more of that, no problem, easy. You see what happened there? That was not my willpower. I didn't force myself to stop. Nobody was standing there making me choose. It just happened automatically because I have decided something, and that decision changed the way I think and the way I act. I'm running this channel, for example, like an actual business right now, even though it's not making me a living yet. I work like 120 hours for the last video I made and I got 40 views. I don't care. I'm doing it exactly as if this was already at 1 million subscribers because I've decided that I want to help people for a living. I'm 100% sure that my skills can help people to have a better life. I know that because I've done it with the people around me. So if I have these skills, I want to use it and I want to make a living from it and help millions of people around the world doing the same way. That's what I want. But when it comes to you, you have to decide what you want for yourself. So here's the actual instructions, the only one that matters. So do not ask yourself what you want, hope, or even how to do what you want to do. Just start asking what you want to do or have or be and decide firmly like a mountain that you will do whatever it takes to achieve that. Not like I will be happy when I will be a millionaire. I am happy and I will be a freaking millionaire. I am already it, because once you decide, you don't need to force the change. You just become that person a little by little every single day. So that's the difference. Wanting keeps you in luck. Hoping keeps you sitting down. Deciding is the only one of the three that actually moves anything. But deciding is just one piece of a bigger system that runs on 7 laws older than any of us. And as I told you before, I already broke them all down in another video of mine, and you can watch it right here. If this video helped you to see reality a little bit different, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and to smash that like button. It would help me to push this video in front of other people that were in the same spot you were 15 minutes ago. For today, it's all. I thank you very much for your attention and peace. I'll see you into the next one.